And welcome to Geek Lounge 101. I am, of course, Torrento, your host, and with me today is Nick Lance. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Nick Lenz.
And where can they find you?
Here on YouTube with my YouTube channel, Nick Lenz.
Oh, cool. And now today, first of all, let's talk about how you got into Bleach.
I mainly found Bleach on Hulu when I was watching Naruto. Like, okay, this kind of looks like interesting. Little description of it. I do a little research on it. Okay, this looks interesting. And I watched the anime. Like, wow, this anime is freaking amazing.
Oh, yes, the anime is over. It's over both One Piece and Naruto. And have you ever heard the term Shonen, Holy Shonen Trinity, or the HST?
Prior to watching the anime, no.
Well, it's a term that we used to throw around. People used to throw around in the early 2000s. It started somewhere in the early mid 2000s, and I know it got really popular around the time I started going to things like the Battle Domes, and Anime Vice when it was still a website before it got shut down. And I have no idea what it is now, but they used to. We used to go to Battle Forums. They used to call it the whole HST because it was the three biggest shonens at the time: One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. That pretty much got people into anime.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really cool thing back then. But as we can tell, as both Naruto and Bleach can show, that it degraded over time.
Yeah,
Especially Bleach, it really degraded itself over time.
yeah, but of the three, Naruto and One Piece still have their popularity.
Oh,
Um,
Naruto will always be. It's still like I said, Naruto's that next big Dragon Ball Z. It's
yeah,
gonna have that status. One Piece,
Bleach is still somewhat popular, but it wasn't as big as it once was.
it's a level of a lot of things that really screwed Bleach over. The only thing that really kept it going was really the anime.
Yeah,
And that's all I can say. Because like I said, after the Aizen arc, it basically you notice that most of the chapters were basically just artwork.
kind of yes,
But
but I know that people hate the Fullbringer arc. I
for a
personally,
lot of things,
yeah, me personally, I didn't have a problem with it. I actually kind of like the Fullbringer arc. It was actually quite fun of an arc to read and watching the anime, though their powers are quite silly.
it's like the Bount. I said people were like I seen some people like compare it to the Bount arc, except Bount was way better, and it didn't feel half-ass.
Yeah, but the thing is, when it comes to the Fullbringer, at least that unlike let's say I think it was season 9, the main villain who he was revealed to be, it was
Mm-hmm.
hinted at. Unlike in the filler season 9, where they had that substitute captain of Squad 3, which when it revealed he was behind everything, that came completely out of nowhere and no one ever suspected. There was no hints about it at all. In the case of the Fullbringer arc, Gunj, I think his name is, the guy who's the main villain of that arc,
Mm-hmm.
him being the main villain, yeah, I was fine with it. And the fact it was hinted at several times that he was pretty much like a bad guy.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's things both people like that they wish was actually canon to the manga, and there's some things people wish weren't. Fullbringer, yeah, people wish that would Kubo didn't do that. In fact, here's what I personally thought: if Kubo could have actually done the Mount arc, I mean, done the Fullbringer arc, if he made it about his sisters,
Yeah, which
because
sisters half the time hardly got anything
Kairi,
to do. Unless it was a
yeah,
filler story, they got nothing to do.
they were just basically there to take up space. Actually, Kyrie, everybody thought Kyrie could have been the next big, could have been the protagonist. Since it was already shown that she had spiritual powers. She could have became the next Shinigami. She could have, and Ichiro could have actually evolved into a side character. Kubo had a chance to make this become something more than just simply about Ichigo, who eventually became Jesus.
Yeah,
Because literally, he was everything. By the end of the manga, he was everything: a Hollow, a Quincy, a Soul Reaper, a Fullbringer.
yeah. But here's the thing about the Quincy thing. You know, on his sheets, it's simply the Quincy cross. You know, on his
Yeah,
bed.
everybody actually wanted to go with the actual. Yeah, they actually wanted to go with the swastika stuff, but you know how that is. They pretty much look like Nazi Germany if you had that
Yeah,
shit on there,
a
and
lot
you
of
know we wouldn't look.
the phrase, especially in English dub, they sound very German.
Oh, it is actually yeah. The Quincy's, the bounce is from what I learned. The hollows were supposed to be Spanish. The Fullbringers is supposed to be represented as American. The Quincy's were supposed to be Germany, and apparently the Soul Reapers are supposed to be feudal Japan, which everybody was like, okay, so when you die, you go to feudal Japan.
Yeah, which I kind of get because when they show the Soul Side both in the anime and the manga, there are no cars, no planes, and no trains, just carts.
Here's the thing, though. You know, in the original manga, when Bleach was starting out, you know, it was never supposed to be like that. We were never actually supposed to go to the Soul Society.
Really,
Yeah,
I
actually,
didn't.
it was gonna be this. Kubo actually, if you go, I looked this up and I saw a guy named Super Eye Patch Wolf. It's a documentary about the Bleach manga, and I did a little research on it. It was supposed to be this fantasy urban sci-fi like genre, but his Japanese editors can make you change the story to wherever they feel that the genre fits best for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this epic fantasy urban thing where really you saw both you saw the Soul Reapers, but they were supposed to be a more urban more modern urban getup.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't supposed to look like this feudal Japan crap, which
Really.
everybody said it really cool. Never even really explained because if you notice throughout the entire series, Kubo X raised more questions than answers. For instance, what is hell? How is hell governed?
Yeah,
That is a serious question, though.
the way it's governed is that apparently there's these giant skeletal giants that look like something out of Attack on Titan. Because I saw
Yeah,
some
but then again,
in the film Hellverse, and
yeah.
they look like stuff out of Attack on Titan.
Actually, the guy in Hellverse, why was he even there? He seemed like the nicest person.
Yeah, but as for him, when he, it's kind of the same thing with Ganja when he was really named during the Fullbringer arc. In the film, it's kind of hinted at, and then when he was a villain, I wasn't all that shocked to see that he was the main villain. I'm like, okay, so he's the main villain. Cool. He was an interesting character, anyways.
But here's the thing, though. They got to go to the Soul Society, and what's his name from the Hellverse? He got to stay in Hell.
Yeah,
There's a
because
lot of
apparently
people.
he's
It doesn't make sense.
as they described as cynic,
Say it again.
because he's a sinner. That's what they describe people who go to hell in the in the anime. Oh, did you know that the movie had an episode prelude?
To Hellverse.
Yes.
Hellverse, I saw a couple years ago. It's not fresh in my mind. There's only two
I
memory.
actually watched it very recently, and there was an episode in the second to last season of the show, which does lead into that very film. And here's something interesting though. They actually have two of the wrong cars who had just died in the previous arc, and they show up in hell. They have,
Actually, it's Hellverse, Kaden.
I think it kind of is, but the two wrong cars that showed up, it was the scientist one who's the wrong car number 8,
Oh,
and
it starts with an A.
yeah, the one who's like a scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up along with a wrong car number 5, the guy with the strange looking circular, what looks like he's carrying a sword that's shaped from a moon.
Oh, Nina Tom something. It's like all their names are Spanish.
Yeah, but the one name that didn't really sound Spanish to me was Green Jow. Did that sound Spanish to you?
Kind of. In a way, it sounds Spanish, but a lot of their names were really Spanish.
Of all the
So
wrong,
I could,
this is one of the most interesting ones.
because him, and everybody says him and Ukiora.
Yeah, Urban is my favorite wrong car.
It's pretty much everyone's favorite Ron Carter, maybe because back then girls just loved that. Oh, I'm an edgelord look. He literally was just a huge edgelord.
Oh, and something interesting though about his voice actor, he also voiced the Joker in Arkham Origins.
The English or Japanese?
English.
Oh, cool. I never really wait. I never really watched all of the Bleach English dub.
I have. I kind of like the dub a lot better than the sub because I watched the one of the OVAs and sub, and because I watched the entire series in English, I prefer Johnny Young Bosch over the original actor who voiced him in the sub because I think Johnny Young Bosch is kind of better. It's just my honest opinion. I
Actually,
like
I do.
and plus also he's actually one of I just recently looked this up. He's one of 3 people from Power Rangers to come to Bleach.
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch, the famous Black Ranger. Everybody loves Johnny Young Johnny Young Bosch. In fact, there's another series I really recommend you don't try out. It's called Code Geass. Johnny Young Bosch plays Lelouch. He's the main protagonist, and the ending is genius.
I heard he's on Sailor Moon Crystal as well.
Never watched Sailor Moon Crystal. Heard it was great because it's just a readaptation of the manga, a more faithful one.
Also weird. He plays one of the cats on there. He plays the cat who's white.
And he plays the white one.
Yeah, he plays the white one, not the one who hangs out with the main character.
Yeah, because the black one is female, and she always hang out with Sailor Princess Ursa or Sailor Moon.
Yeah, and Sailor Moon herself is voiced by the same woman who voices Orihime. And Hanabi,
like I said, I've never seen it. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's the same voice actress. The guy who voices Uru.
Mm-hmm.
He also voiced Elgar from Power Rangers Turbo. Kenichi Joji from Digimon Adventure 2. And he also voiced Shino from Naruto.
Yep. Another white state potential character.
Yep. Toshiro. Guess who he voiced in Naruto?
Who?
Neji.
I'm thinking about it now. It all makes sense. Because usually I don't think about that.
It's Studio Parrot. They love reusing their own voice actors for various projects.
Well, no, that makes complete sense because I never really put that much thought into it.
And plus, Johnny Young Bosch himself has actually voiced the character on Naruto.
Yeah, I did. Wait, who did he voice?
Sorcery of the Red Sand.
Like I said, back then I rarely paid attention to these things.
I looked up Wikipedia. That's how I found myself.
That is nice. Actually, what is your favorite Bleach movie then?
Of the 4, I love the second and fourth one.
Yeah, because I remember, wasn't there one? The first one, wasn't it about a guy who fused with his own plateau?
No, that was actually from the anime. The first one was basically about, it's called Memories of a Nobody.
Yeah, I know that one. I remember Memories of a Nobody, Diamond Dust Rebellion, Hellverse, and one about Rukia becoming.
It's called Fade to Black. It's the movie where everybody gets to remember after Rukia, and apparently because Rukia hung out with Ichigo so much, everybody forgot Ichigo. Except for...
So basically, only Ichigo and Kon were the only ones who could remember Rukia.
Yeah, and apparently the only person who remembered Ichigo was Kisuke. Because he has his name in his customer book. Oh. Okay. There's one voice actor on the show who actually has been on Power Rangers. Yorichi. The black woman who turns to a cat.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's another thing people actually said. That was never explained in the manga either, how she turned into a cat. That was never explained.
Yeah, the voice actress who voices her in the anime. She also voiced Scorpina from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Well, I don't really know all the I really don't know all the Power Rangers. I stopped watching after Dino Thunder.
Yeah. But I still kind of watch it, but I haven't finished watching Downcharge or and I'm not even started watching Ninja Steel yet, the current one they have on right now.
Oh, good luck on that part because I have no interest in watching them.
Yeah, there are some good ones, like the ones after Down Thunder, stuff like SPD is really good. RPM is awesome, which the Red Ranger from that one, he appeared on Jessica Jones.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep, it's the same guy because I remember him from RPM. I'm like, you look familiar. I look it up. Yep, it's the Red Ranger from RPM. He's Jessica Jones' assistant, uh, who helps her out at the end of the first season.
Okay. Right now, I'm trying to look up all the Bleach episodes and specials. I'm trying to find that one, the one I was talking about earlier.
The Fullbringer one?
It was something. It was a weird one. Like I said, it was all about Ichigo fighting a guy who fused with his blade. Now it's like it's just chipping at the back of my head.
That was from a filler season. Uh, the whole thing with the Zanpakuto Toe thing. Oh, you mean the guy who fused with Zanpakuto? That's actually OVA.
Yes, it was an OVA, and
I don't remember.
Okay, let me go look it up.
I can look it up too. I've watched it. Here's kind of the weird thing about this anime, this OVA, never dubbed. I could not find a dub version of this OVA. The whole thing is in Japanese. There is no there's no dub version of this particular thing. It's called. I'm thinking I can find it here.
Actually, some people wish they could do a special about at least do the like turn back the pendulum. They could do a special for Bleach about how when he was the Soul Captain.
When who was? Oh, you mean Ichigo's father?
Yeah.
Well, that would be nice. There was a little bit. There was a flashback to it in the final arc.
That's what I was talking about. People turn that little, you can actually make this into a side thing where if the anime ever came back, you don't have to actually see that flashback. You can see it from the anime perspective, and you from that little perspective, and you still wouldn't be missing out on much on the full story since the dialogue in the last arc was just artwork.
Yeah, but I kind of like the artwork that Kibo did. Okay, the second OVA is called the Sealed Sword Frenzy. That is what it's called.
Yes, that's what I remember. That was the first time. I think that was the first thing ever, besides the actual animated episodes that I watched. Because back then, my friend he told me about. Oh, we used to watch Bleach and Naruto on Toonami, and for some reason, Bleach came on Adult Swim. Never knew why. Back in the day. And I used to watch it like that.
Why this OVA was never dubbed? It's a good OVA. I do have a theory of why it wasn't dubbed.
And that'll be?
There's a scene in it with Reggie with a shotgun, and he fires it off. Hassan fires off his head, and my guess is that probably somebody at Cartoon Network probably thought, no, let's not dub this thing because there's guns in it. Because even for kids, it's people with guns.
But here's the thing: Bleach came on Adult Swim. It came on at like 11 to 11:30 at night.
Yeah. Oh, in the OVA, Reggie is wearing this weird-looking outfit where he's wearing a t-shirt with Chappie on it, which is something that
when doesn't he wear something
apparently dressed him in.
Yeah, but he's always wearing something weird. If you ever notice, every time they go to the human world, they're always wearing something weird.
Yeah, and Rangiku, which I read a little something on Wikipedia. I'm not sure if this is true or not. Rangiku and Yorishi are basically two women that Kibo loved drawing in the manga.
There's tons of reasons why Rangiku and Yorishi got so much screen time.
Yeah, but in the final arc, Rangiku does jack frickin' squat in the final arc.
Oh, besides becoming a zombie?
Yeah, besides becoming a zombie, that's it. That's all she does. I'm like, really? Take a good character like her and yet her captain gets more to do than she does.
You know what? People actually booed at the fact that Byakuya lived during the first invasion. Actually, Kubo was actually going to kill off Byakuya.
Really?
Actually, he was going to kill him off, but him and Toshiro were going to be one of the casualties between the war. And it was supposed to show that this is the final arc. People are going to die, but people and fangirls actually sent Kubo death threats.
Really? I think
this is a real thing.
Who officially died in the last arc were the head captain, his lieutenant,
and Otohara, right? I think that's his name.
Which one is he? Is he like one of the...
Not Otohara. He's friends with Koryaku.
Oh, you mean the guy who's the
captain of 13? The captain of the 13th squad. He died too.
Joshiro. He kind of died, but he basically made himself into the right arm of the Social.
It's weird how he went out. No, how he went out was just weird.
Yeah, there was one guy who I saw die at the start of the arc, and all of a sudden he comes back at the end, alive, no explanation. It's the lieutenant of Squad 3.
Yeah, actually, then they said it was explained in a light novel.
Yeah, it was explained in the first light novel that apparently Missouri, the captain of Squad 12, he did experimental surgery to bring it back to life.
Yeah, that's why I said people were complaining because no, it was like Naruto fourth grade ninja war. Nobody died. No real people. Nobody that was actually important to the series died.
Well, the head captain died. He was important to the series, despite the fact half the time I think he was seen now.
Actually, everybody was glad that he died because it showed that the war was gritty. But they didn't have to. But we wanted more people. It was just like everybody on the Wonder Boss side, on U-Haul's box side, was dying off left and right. In fact, U-Haul started killing off his own damn people later on.
Yeah, as far as this arc is concerned, now in the case of Fourth Grade Ninja War, the only character who officially died in that arc was Neji.
Well, the only important one was Neji. I mean, actually, Shikamaru and Ino's dad died, but we never really knew them, and all their character development went through their children.
Yeah, and of course, Shikamaru, Ino's dad, they both got killed by Obito.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We never knew who their parents were. We only knew their character growth through their kids, which basically they're probably just carbon copies of their parents.
Yeah, but here's the thing about Ino's father. He looks almost exactly like her, except that he's a guy.
So did Shikamaru's dad. In fact, Choji, Shikamaru, and Ino, they were all basically spitting images of their parents, except that Ino came out to be a female. And if you look at Shikamaru's child, he's just literally a clone of him. In fact, Shikamaru is a clone of his dad, except he doesn't have a scar.
It's kind of the same thing with Inogen, where he's a spitting image of his father, but he has his mother's hair and eyes.
Chocho, this is the only one you can actually tell from. It's like, thank God she does not look like her parents, because you can actually differentiate her.
With his hair. That's it, just his hair.
And, I was also thinking this. You notice that Choji's the only one who still has whose only parent is still alive from the original Ino Shikocho.
Really?
Yeah, his dad didn't die.
Yeah, he was kind of surprising. I would say the only time his father actually made anything worth of sort of a development was that one filler episode that featured the eternal Genin.
Yeah.
The one who knew pretty much every single Hokage to date.
Yep.
Which I'm like, wow, that's an old guy.
But let's get back to Bleach. So, who's your favorite characters?
Well, besides Ichigo, I would say of the Soul Reapers, one of my first favorites is gotta be Kapachi. He's pure fun of a character. And
actually,
he's kind of, despite him being cold, he's actually quite interesting, and he's probably one of the very few Soul Reaper captains who actually do a lot in the manga and the anime.
He does a lot, period. That's because he generally is the first one to run into battle.
Yeah, and there's a recurring joke about him being look like a kid, and he says, "I'm not a kid." He has the side effect. He looks like a kid, and in the dub of that, you know that one scene from the fake Kuritan battle where the Vizard, not long after the Vizard show up, and it's Hero, I think her name is, the blonde hair girl, the one with the sandals. Yeah. She kept calling him Shorty many times, and in the manga, yeah. What do you think her name is?
I have the Bleach wiki right here.
Yeah, she's got blonde hair, freckles.
Because her former captain, the one she likes, her captain she went to go become part of the Zero Squad.
Which, by the way, in the final arc, they actually showed her in the final arc.
Yeah, I know. I read the final arc. Too bad they did jack shit.
Oh, yeah, and here's the thing. Apparently, since she became part of Squad Zero, she apparently looked like she put on 100 pounds. And she also has the ability to shed it on a whim. Heck, even, what's his name? Senji, the leader of the Vizards, who basically got restored to the position of captain of Squad 5, he didn't even recognize because she had put on so much weight.
I mean, who would?
Yeah. And I kind of like some of this, the people from Squad Zero. Like, one is actually the one who's responsible for the name for everything with Soul Society. And apparently he remembers name every single soul, even their Zompak toes. Which I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about
or he has a big filing cabinet in his house.
Yeah, the one who basically named everything. I forgot his name because it's right here. I'm waiting for the wiki is so freaking slow right now.
Yeah, I can look up because I.
Okay, yeah, Kiro. Her name is Kiro Hikifune, the previous squad captain.
Yeah, the one who defended the Zompak toe.
Yeah, the 12th she was the former 12th head of the 12th squad.
Yeah,
and then it was Ichibei Hiyosobo. Yeah, Ichibei.
Of what's his name? He's from the Vizards, the one with the afro.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Love?
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Love in a way because he's Love. He talks almost exactly like him. It's like he's related to him or something. Not just because he's black. Not just because he's black, but because he acts like him too. His name
Let me go look his name up.
Ochito Nipmaya.
Yeah, he basically invented Zanpakutos, and then there's Tenjiro Kirinji.
Yeah, he's the one who
he was the first. He basically came up with the whole healing method.
Yeah, which by the way, when they went to his hot springs thing, apparently Ichigo went to his hot spring, and apparently he threw
Rukia's butt was there.
He threw in Byakuya, Renji, and Rukia.
Yeah, I know. We saw Rukia's butt, and he said it looked like a peach.
Yeah, and she was not the only one to go show off her go naked in that arc. Ichigo's mom did the same thing in a flashback.
Actually, you know, it never said what Shinjimura Shitora did to get into the Zero Squad.
Which one is that one? The Hot Springs guy?
No, it was the fifth. Remember, there's 5 people in the Squad Zero. It's the other chick who had the mini arms. She knew the squad captain. Knew him.
Yeah, Kyoto.
Shinjimura. It's basically, I'm looking at her wiki profile right now, and I don't remember ever in the manga it was stated how she got into the Zero Squad, what she did. All we know is she's the Great Weave Guard.
Yeah, which I don't know what that is. They never went into depth in the final arc exactly what exactly she does. I mean, the rest of them
I basically blame Kubo. Really, I blame Kubo for how the final arc came out. I know that Kubo basically, if you noticed by the time that he was wrapping up the entire Aizen arc, Kubo was basically burnt out from being a mangaka.
Yeah, he could have just handed it off to somebody else, but I think it's just because it's his baby. He wanted to continue it.
Yeah, because he said the final arc was something it was something he always wanted to do, But the thing is, the man is, you've seen his pacing. It's very crap. He has shit pacing.
Yeah, he goes really quick.
No, it either moves too slow or too fast.
Yeah, there's one plot hole, and luckily enough, the second light novel answer this thing. During the final arc, the main villain of the Fullbringer arc shows up. I'm like, how is this possible? You're dead. And it's explained in the light novel that apparently he's a soul. Who basically.
Yeah, they all died because they were humans. They were humans when they got killed.
Yeah. So apparently he's allowed to keep his clothes despite the fact everybody goes to Rukon district wears rags.
No, that's rare cases where some people who die actually gets to keep their memories and clothes and stuff. It's like Dragon Ball Z, except this guy actually was evil. Like, he was a sinner. Why didn't he go to hell? Or that other guy who killed his wife.
Yeah. Which, by the way,
why didn't they go to hell?
The guy who killed his wife, he's actually in the new light novel, which I've read the first 4 parts of, which Edgar basically reminded me about him. I don't know who this person's on Tumblr. This person translated the entire first light novel to English.
Yes, actually, there's actually another light novel before that actually took place during the 2-year skip.
Really?
And it involves Kenpachi. And it involves the previous, it involves the Kenpachi before the man he killed.
Oh, yeah, I think they referenced him in the Balance arc.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, where that one story was part of Squad 11 who didn't like the fact that Kenpachi killed his predecessor. And
yeah, because he said his predecessor was Salah, but he was also an upstanding Soul Reaper. But the thing is, with the Squad 11 is if you want to be the captain, all you got to do is just next off the guy before the previous one. I mean, the current one.
As long as he also has 200 witnesses.
Which Kenpachi did.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat. They say he just killed him in one stroke.
Yeah, and I saw his Bankai when he finally achieved Bankai. It is one of the most bizarre looking Bankai I have ever seen.
Actually, his whole entire scheme was stupid, and everybody was basically saying, how was any of this possible? How is it that his Zanpakuto manifested itself as a little girl, and then it had a Zanpakuto of its own?
Yeah, it makes no sense. Oh, there was one other character who was killed besides the head captain and his lieutenant. The captain of Squad 4.
Oh, you're talking about Rose?
No, not Rose. Regina, the one with the black hair. The one who basically acted people basically with her smile like she was going to hurt them, but everyone was like afraid of her.
Oh, Urahara, the original Kenpachi Urahara, or I mean Urahara Yachiro or Kenpachi Yachiro.
On her chest. It looks like she was from paintings.
That's that scar. Yeah, her scar. What came from? Yeah, but then you find out her scar came from Kenpachi. It was the former.
Which Kenpachi,
Red Suit Urahara.
And apparently her lieutenant has no problem with the fact that Kenpachi killed her at all. Which I'm like, wouldn't she have a problem?
No, she had a problem. No, she had a problem. You could tell, but this is during a freaking war. You gotta kind of you gotta put your you gotta put your feelings to the side because you're about to get wiped out. But yeah, you could tell that she was pissed off.
They actually accepted her, and it was explained in the first light novel, the one where they had Ruki Renji's wedding. That apparently, nobody had a problem with the fact that she took over as the captain of Squad 4, despite the fact
she was going to be everyone's side.
Yeah, basically she was accepted like no problem because Squad 4 is basically the medical corps of the 13 Guard Squad, and it needed a leader, and they couldn't just wait around for a new captain to come around, so they had no choice but to accept Asane as a new captain of Squad 4.
Actually, here's the thing I always wondered, and it came up in the second to the last chapter. When was it ever stated that Asane and Kion were sisters?
Oh, I kind of knew that, and plus it was referencing that episode from the anime, the one where almost all the women went to the beach.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying like even in the manga or the anime, it really wasn't even all that much hinted or foreshadowed. And every time they interacted, it sure as hell didn't act like sisters. They acted like people who just knew each other from work.
Yeah, which here's kind of the thing. In the epilogue, her sister becomes her lieutenant.
Yeah, but she always wanted to be the lieutenant of Squad 13 under Ukitake.
Yeah, but she became lieutenant under her sister.
In fact, wait? There's one more person. Hang on a second, because this has to be talked about. There's two things that first needs to be talked about by the new squad captains. It's where is he? He's up here somewhere. I gotta look for him.
Oh, the captain Squad 7. Yeah, apparently he was declared killed in action.
Oh no! Like I said, Kamaru. There's one of the people whose status was never revealed, and people were like, "Okay, so what happened?"
Yeah, the second light novel actually revealed his status. Killed in action, but he basically retired to live with his wolf clan.
Yeah.
That and this is explained by his lieutenant with the shades.
Yeah, Iba Tetum Zaman. I can't pronounce that last name correctly.
The lieutenant of Squad 9, the one with the 6'9" tattoo in his face.
He's soggy. Yes, actually, everybody said people were basically pissed off at the second chapter, the second to the last, because he said he used his bankai, but nobody, even the captain said nobody saw him use it, and I think that was basically Kubo saying we're never going to see it.
Yeah, which it's explained in the second light novel that his captain, the one that looks like a football player, the one that took over from Toshin.
Yeah, you mean Kenshin.
Yeah, apparently, like what happened with Toshiro and Regina, Rukyu, he was cured of his zombify form.
Yeah. Oh no, I already knew that because like I said, I read the manga. I saw this. They even because I saw Toshiro take on what was that Valkyrie do? Valkyrie something.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the most weirdest things, I had never known that Marucci basically did this. He basically brought back 4 dead Iran cars.
Actually, that was kind of hinted. It was kind of hinted at the beginning of the invasion arc. You know, when they go to Miori's lab, they had one of his his assistants up here.
I think
luckily on the wiki, I don't know why he's all.
Yeah, I kind of think his name is the one with the 3 horns.
Yeah, Akon. Yeah, he said he looked into. They was looking for him, and he went to one of the secret projects, and he said he saw people hanging up there, and he was very disturbed. But but Kubo never answered that question until 46 chapters in.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing:
into the actual final arc.
He got more to do than Nemu did prior to her death.
Everybody said Nemu got back as a lolly, and I said, well, that's just weird.
Yeah, how she came back to life, basically, it's explained because she's basically something that Marucci created.
She's a mod soul.
Yeah.
She's a mod soul, and her brain was preserved.
Yeah, so he.
Is another weird thing.
Yeah, yeah. So her coming back later on, that's fine, but after her death, Ankon took over as lieutenant of Squad 12.
Well, that and she's too young. Even though Miuri could have actually just created a new body for her at an appropriate age and just made her who's complain, right?
Yeah, but I gotta blame Cuba basically. Up until her death, she did nothing except stand around, saying a very few lines, and that's it. She's probably one of the most wasted characters in that final arc who does virtually nothing except dying.
Actually, here's something. There are a lot of wasted characters, but here's a trope that everyone got pissed off in Bleach. Why were you explaining your powers to the enemy?
Yeah. What do you think of that, that combo twist that Ichigo did during his battle with Beyond Rage, where he combined all 3 of his powers into one?
Wait, was that before or after he destroyed his Zanpakuto with 0 effort?
I think that was after his Zanpakuto was destroyed, but it was rebuilt thanks to the bookmark. Yeah, the guy with the bookmark ability basically fixing his Zanpakuto.
you know what? And the whole thing is, Kubo's stated that it was supposed to be longer than that. The whole final battle was supposed to be longer, but Shonen Jump, but Bleach has been in the bottom 20 in the Shonen Jump magazine for about 5 years. You notice? You knew that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's been in the. It never jumped. It never got higher. It never got lower. It was like, I think it did get lower. It was like number 17, and then it just jumped all the way to number 20. It was doing. Bleach was doing popular in the Western world, but in Japan, people were not that interested in Bleach anymore.
Yeah, when they brought back the Fullbringers in the last arc, they only brought back 4 of them. They brought
Everybody
back,
thought they was going to do something.
and they did. Well, the guy with the your crew, I think is the one who has the ability to bring video game stuff to life.
And the guy with the bookmark. Those were the only 2 people who did something. Everybody else just. I knew Kubo was setting them up to do something epic.
The one with the QT powers.
Oh, you mean the only one that actually was still alive? The only one who was still around before the Fullbringer arc? Like I said, I didn't really read it or watch it because Fullbringer sucked.
Yeah. I think that she has a small fan base because, one thing, she's cute, and 2, I think little girls actually probably like her ability because she basically throws all these cutesy dolls. And I especially love this one scene in the Fullbringer arc in the anime where Rukia is fighting her, and she sees all this cutesy stuff, like, yay! It's like she's like going like overjoyed to see all these cutesy stuff.
Oh, you mean like the Lolita? She was basically dressed up in Lolita outfits.
Yeah, it was so funny. And also in the final arc, when they had this, I think it was like about 2 chapters into the final arc, there was this apparently looked like a Ronkar who basically just walked into Ichigo's bedroom, just standing on his bed. And I'm like,
oh yeah, one of the forced Ronkars who basically were fighting under Uobox control. Well, at the beginning of it,
he had a piece of a Ronkar mask on his face.
Actually, he was they were Ronkars, but at the beginning, people used to think that Uobox's name was Buckbeard.
Really?
Actually, when the final arc was starting off, there was a translation, and it came out to be Buckbeard, and everybody thought that was the name of the final villain.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a recurring joke when it comes to Bleach, when it comes to Ichigo's bedroom. It's like his bedroom is like a meeting room and a storage room at the same time, besides the fact Ichigo.
Because everybody jumps inside. Everybody loves to be in his room for some damn reason.
Yeah, and there was one of these omakes where it featured the female Soul Reapers, and they used it as a storage room to store all their stuff they went on their shopping sprees. Which
Actually,
I thought was
I missed those little shorts they used to do. But then again, Gene said once the show got canceled, they said that was the last of those little shorts.
Oh, if you want to find those shorts, there's this YouTube channel I found. I don't remember which one it is. It has pretty much almost all of the omakes.
Oh, I already know about them. Oh, I already know about that.
Yeah, and here's something really weird. Apparently, whenever Nemu takes a picture, instead of saying cheese, he says butter. Which I thought was so hilarious. Or where Renji asks, like, when he asks Byakuya, like, how do you keep your hair so nice and neat? How do you get your hair cut? He says, I use Senbu Zakura to cut my hair.
Okay, so here's the next question. What are you, in the terms of Naruto and Bleach, who do you think has the better intros and endings?
Intros, I would say it's probably Bleach has a better intro because in the case of Naruto, it's like, okay, you have a kid who basically sprays graffiti on a Mount Rushmore ripoff. But in case of the ending, I haven't got to the ending yet for the manga, but I did get to the ending for Bleach.
Oh no, I mean like their endings, like the openings and endings for the anime.
Well, for beginnings, Bleach had a better opening episode than Naruto did.
No, I don't think you're getting this one right. I was just saying, like, the openings, the songs they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't really mention that much when it comes to the dub version for the song for Naruto. It kind of felt like a country. It sounded like a country song.
Which one?
The first one they used.
Oh, the very first Naruto opening. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it sounded like a country song. Bleach. Bleach.
Oh, I love that first one.
I didn't really pay attention to uh the opening that much when it came to Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like very much like rock.
Well, actually, here are all my favorite Bleach openings. There's, I know it's 1, 2, 5, 7, 11, and 12, which I names. I gotta go look it up right now. But
Yeah.
that's the in the list of names I like from the Bleach openings, and I have to go look up the list name.
One thing that's
But there's one.
great is the fight music is amazing.
It is very amazing.
Yeah, like whenever Ichigo basically summons out his Bankai, it's like this. It feels very epic every time he does it.
Oh yeah, you had this little punk rock. It's like a little pop song, like a pop rock song.
Yeah, and it's like there's also one where he's like in the
Number
middle of
one.
I don't remember. There's actually lyrics to it. Kind of like Salvation, I think it is. He does it whenever he's
Oh
fighting.
no, it's called gotta be number one. That's the song they plays when he go like how he went to Bankai for the first time. You just hear that little pop rock song. Yeah, number one. What you saying?
Yeah, it basically Naruto didn't have much for when it came to fight music that much.
Oh, his OSTs. Well, actually, he had a lot of OSTs that I liked.
Yeah, I barely noticed them. It's just because I rewatched the Bleach ones because I love the rock music in that one. Naruto
Mm-hmm.
has interesting music here and there, but I don't really remember exactly what the music was. It's been a while since I listened to it.
Oh, I listen to Bleach and all of them almost periodically because I like to hear that. I like just like get that nostalgic feel for it.
Yeah. One thing weird about the openings, it's like the footage they use for the openings of the episodes, you never see them in the episodes of the anime or in the films. Like there's one where it looks like the characters are in the real world. I think it's like toward the later of the series, like they're in the Roncar arc, where you have it
Mm-hmm.
looks like Ichigo, Chad, or Hime at some place, probably Ichigo or Hime's house. Orihime is wearing a black dress. Chad looks like he's a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And Ichigo is just basically chilling at home, basically what Orihime serves him like drinks. And Rangiku is basically wearing, well, an outfit that shows off her cleavage. And she's basically hunky Toshiro for some reason.
Okay, I think I have the list pulled up, the correct list for all the Bleach openings. I know number one is Tarosky. That was the first Bleach opening I ever heard, and I love that song. And this is one of the things I used to watch back then, like on YouTube. Like I was telling you back then, my friends showed me that they actually put out the Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece episodes on YouTube. You can find it like that. That's how I watched the entire Roncar arc.
Really?
Before I realized there were anime websites for it.
Yeah.
But
The Roncar arc is a lot of people can tell you true when it comes to this. The Roncar arc is the one thing that took up most of the anime.
it took up most of the. Have you seen the volumes? It took up most of the volumes. Like ever since the ending of the Soul Society arc, it was stopped at what, volume 13, I believe.
No. Basically, because I read all of them, here's how they work. The first 8 is the substitute arc. Basically like the beginning. And,
Mm-hmm.
9 through 20 is the Soul Society arc, with also the first couple of chapters of book 21. From 21 to 28 is the Roncar stuff. It's 21 to 48. From 49 to 54 is the Fullbringer, and from 55 to 74 is the final arc.
But if you go from 20 to 48, that's pretty much everything that involves Isaac and their Ronkars.
Yeah.
Most people just group that all into one big thing. They just call it the Ronkar arc. They don't call it the fake Kurokara Town or the Hawaii Komodo. It's just Ronkar because it's all involving them.
Yeah.
Actually, what did you think about Dean's character development?
I thought was quite interesting, and I can kind of see why some people thought it would be creepy. I thought it was weird though. Like half the time when you saw him, he basically walked around. He looks like he was sleepwalking.
He was Brock, basically from Pokemon. He had that little generic. Oh, his eyes that look like they're always closed. How the hell does he know where he's going all the time?
Yeah, and apparently he only opens his eyes like a couple times.
And when they do it, you could tell it's serious, like serious creepy moments. Like the first time he fought Ichigo, we saw what his Zanpakuto was like, and everybody used to think, "Oh, it can stretch." No, this thing was recorded as the fastest Zanpakuto.
Yeah, and Toshin, he was the most interesting of of, of all the characters in the well, of all the villains. He was the most interesting characters of the whole entire manga and anime.
He actually had a good reason why he became pissed off though.
Yeah, because the guy who killed his friend basically was never executed.
One thing I never understood: what was the point of Central 46 exactly? Like you had or the four main families in the Soul Society.
Yeah,
There's the
wait,
Kuki.
it kind of reminds me of the Supreme Court of Justice.
But why is it there? Why do you need that? I thought the Soul Society was that.
Apparently,
Wasn't that the whole
everything, and apparently they make all the final decisions. And anybody can tell this by reading in the manga and the anime. The people who run Section 46 are a bunch of dicks.
is it based? I think they're supposed to be like I think it's supposed to be like the American version of the Supreme Court, where it's saying like all our politicians ever do is just bicker among each other.
Yeah, and this is a question I don't think the anime or manga ever basically answered. How in the world did Aizen manage to slaughter the entire Section 46 that quickly?
Dude, they're weaklings. You do realize these people had literally all they had was basically fictional power. Like they can give the head captain Yamamoto an order and he'll go out and do it because that's just how dedicated he is to the Soul Society. But you can tell these people are like the real life politicians. They have when it comes to physical attributes and stuff, they will get killed in a real fight. They will basically shit themselves in a hollow attack.
The anime and the manga, there is the royal family, but in the final arc, you see the Soul King. He does nothing but sit in his room. Looks like he's moping and he doesn't even move.
No. See, that's the thing. He was in a crystal. It was chapter 519 before we got the Unaara and Kenpachi fight. We saw the Soul King come. It looked like he had his arms and legs, and he was coming out of his room. They said he finally woke up. When we finally got to see the Soul King, he was in a crystal where his arms and legs were missing. And I'm like, okay, none of this adds up. None of this makes sense. And everybody was always.
Yeah, I think one of the most strangest plot twists, and this came completely out of nowhere, the main villain being his son.
Actually, I've seen some theories that say that Yorubachi is not his son, but actually one of his appendages that came to life and was basically sentient. Because it said that Valkyrie dude, he was the Soul King's heart. Ukutake had the left hand. He had Mimisagi, and somehow Joabak got the hold of the right hand of the Soul King. So where's the leg?
He had the right arm of the Soul King.
Yeah, he had right arm or a hand. It really was just a hand. It wasn't really an arm, just a hand.
I agree with Yusuke, Kitsuke. Like he had never heard of the cult that apparently Joshio's family was part of. And I'm like, yeah, this came completely out of nowhere. It was never built to be like, okay, apparently the reason why he's sick is because he's the right arm of the Soul King.
No, he was born with a terminal illness, and basically his parents prayed to Mimisagi, and Mimisagi fused with him, and basically he was the only reason why Ukitake went so long, as how he stayed alive. But here's the weird thing: when Juha killed the Soul King and he took the left hand, who was holding the Soul Society together?
No idea. And apparently the left hand became one of the Quincy's.
No, he fused because was it Mimisagi the left or right hand?
I think he might have been the left hand.
Because I know the left one was in. I think that was the one that Ukitake had. The right one, Miori basically defeated. Through basically everybody. In fact, some people said the Miori fights is both weird and fun, but it's kind of boring because you know he's going to win because he always He's like Batman. He always prep. If he has prep time, he will beat you no matter what.
What do you think of when you saw Rukia's Bankai for the first time?
Actually, it looked more like how her actually, a lot of people think that Kubo, even though Kubo did do the designs, I think that's what Kubo wanted her Bankai to look like, because it looked just like her Zanpakuto, the one from the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc.
Yeah, which by the way, when it came to that,
It's canon. It's canon. I actually thought it's actually nice that at least the designs are canon, because Kuriko's Bankai spirit was the same one, look just like her.
yeah, I think his name's Shuhei. I think his name is the Captain Squad 8.
Suishu Koriyaku.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Apparently, this is weird. Apparently, his greatest desire is to bang his own Zanpakuto.
No, his greatest desire. Actually, here's the weirdest thing. Apparently, Nanao is his niece.
Yeah, I kind of knew that,
I never knew that.
but
I
it
just
was
knew he liked to flirt with her, but it was never established what their relationship.
it's kind of weird though because here he is, a guy who frequently chases women, and yet he doesn't chase his smoking hot niece.
No. At first, no. Like I said, before we actually got this character development behind them, you would have never known they were related, because you can't put two to two together. They don't have the same last names.
Yeah,
because apparently,
when he became the head captain, he basically kind of changed when he became the head captain, personality-wise.
Cool change, but his brother was actually him and his. I think his wife was the head.
His sister-in-law was the head of basically.
Squad 7 or 8? Yeah. No, 8. Squad 8.
Yeah, Squad 8. But when it came to him, he became like very serious, doing some very controversial things, like freeing Sosuke Aizen from prison.
Actually, he everything he did, ever since he became the head captain, he made all the correct choices. Because let's face it, the new Central 46 were all idiots. They basically imprisoned Aizen, said he was going to be locked up for 1,000 years, even though
20,000
Aizen's he's immortal, and plus that restraints. It pretty much showed during the final arc, those restraints were basically useless. He got out on his own.
Yeah, and apparently he didn't. Apparently, it mentioned he hadn't spoken a word in 2 years.
But yet his soul pressure was strong enough. As I said, that suit, it didn't stop his spiritual pressure. It just condensed it all into one area. So I think he used all of his spiritual pressure to undo the locks in that time.
Yeah, and it's revealed in the second light novel that he willingly went back to prison.
Yeah, he will. It was shown in the final chapter. He willingly went back to prison throughout the last time skip. He willingly went back to prison
because he wanted to serve out his sentence,
which makes no sense. Like everybody said, that's just like in Naruto.
And yeah, and a lot of people are like, why bring him out? Oh yeah, we want evil to fight evil.
Okay, but then he didn't really do nothing.
Yeah, he was the whole time.
Actually, people thought he died by Juha. Some people were raging. We got to the point we're so mad that some people actually stopped reading Bleach after that. Because literally, you can't lie. Wasn't Aizen and Juha like the last two saving graces of Bleach?
Yeah.
In fact, we still never knew how him and Urahara saw the Soul King. It was never explained.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I want to know. When did Aizen and Urahara get the chance to see it?
For doing this, they never showed us prior to this in the manga. They didn't show us one of the Omegas. Lieutenant of Squad 2?
Yeah.
They show his sister.
They showed his entire family.
Yeah, and when the Omega show his family, but in the manga they never show his family up until this last arc, where they show
until they showed his sister, and she was almost died, and she almost got killed.
Yeah, and then she got saved by her brother and Soythorn.
Actually, here's something that also pissed off people. What was Robert's? Robert was throughout the course of the final arc, Robert was the last Stern Ritter to have his letter shown. He was the end. What the hell did it mean?
I have no idea. It's kind of weird that for ranks, it's the 26 layers of the alphabet plus a Greek symbol.
Actually, who's the Greek symbol?
Yeah, it's the one that comes after Z.
No, I mean, who was the Greek symbol?
Let me look it up here.
I have the Quincy's right here, but they're all just basically. Grammy was the greatest letdown in the entire series.
Let's see.
Grammy should have killed Kimpachi 7 times over.
The one who's the Greek symbol, his name is Shaz Damio.
Oh yes, actually, everybody was wondering what was his power because Ichigo one shot at his ass before we understood what his letter or power meant.
Yeah.
We knew Bernice Gabriel.
Ichigo, his last arc was actually really smart. A lot of the decisions were really smart decisions, and he was like, even he pointed out though the Rikiku's power was completely useless in this fight, and he was right because her power is cutesy power.
Almost everybody was useless in this damn last arc,
except Orihime, who did help Ichigo.
Actually, Orihime did jack shit this arc. You know what I'm saying? She did nothing. Her or Chad, they basically were just there to watch.
Yeah, but she did help Ichigo during his battle with Yarich.
That does not count because he basically they all would they would have got fodderized regardless.
Yeah, but what you think of that one little moment where Chad is asking Ichigo, "What do you think of Orihime's new attire?" And he thought it was too revealing. Orihime was thinking, "Oh yeah, I think it's like hentai," and then Yorichi just sticks her hand right through Orihime's big breast for some reason. I thought it was so funny.
Well, at least Kubo knows how to give us fan service. If you can't, is there's one thing you can give this man is the fact that he knows how to draw shit. Actually, here's another thing I always was confused. You know, Gazelle, the zombie. I wanted to know what it was. He really a dude? And if so, what did he really look like under that facade?
But one thing you got to praise the final arc for, the villains were actually interesting.
Here's the thing though. He only had every time we showed an interesting villain, they got killed off in a span of what 3 to 4 chapters, and they had interesting backstories. Everybody in this final arc could have been great. Too bad.
Except for B, the one who had letter B. You showed his
balance. Oh, you mean his backstory was actually I saw some dark rumors that he was actually sexually abused. Some people thought he was abused or sexually abused by his uncle.
Yeah, Jagrum Housewolf.
Yeah, the balance was so weird. And here's the thing: I never still understood. How, even he was never explained like his connection to the Jua. Like he would when Jua goes to sleep at night, they trade places.
Yeah, and apparently, whenever Yara goes to sleep, he becomes the father of all Quincy.
Well, that's because he collects the souls that he gave part of his soul to.
Yeah,
and that's why.
Did Oru keep his powers? It was never stated he kept his powers or not.
Here's the thing, though. In the final chapter, Yuha Bak's greatest master plan was to get rid of the cycle of life and death and give people immortality or some shit like that. That felt like he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's like Kubo stating, "Oh, this is what the entire point of this final arc was," but no. But thanks to, and I think it was supposed to be like a metaphor of saying, thanks to Shonen Jump, we'll never get to see how it came out.
Yeah, when I look at the uniforms for the first time, they kind of remind me of the German uniforms from World War I.
It's supposed to be like, all I know is they're supposed to look like the Germany's uniforms.
Yeah, but they look like the World War I era uniforms. That's what they look like to me.
It's an interesting thing, actually. Because I know you actually marathon Bleach, but when Bleach was coming out weekly basis, Kubo took a month off and he actually went to Germany to do research about so he can get some more research on Quincy's German because he wanted to study German history. Pretty neat, ain't it?
One thing that the final arc never did explain: what the heck? What else was Keith up to when he was a Wikamundo?
What was anybody up to? Literally, they had the 3 Iran cars. Those her Fraction, Helibill's Fraction got their ass one-shotted by
whoever the commander was. I don't remember his
name. Yeah, he was one of the squad. He was part of the Vandenreich. He was or a Wonder Star. Yeah. His name is right here. Where's his name? I just had it.
he was defeated very quickly, and
Oh,
Ichigo was like, "Oh,
yes.
you have to go to the Soul Society." And what
Actually,
about Canadian Chad? Apparently, they got stuck
actually,
someplace.
toughest opponent Ichigo fought to date besides Yuha, a broken ass ability. Technically, Yuha should have never lost. His power is too broken.
Yeah, but somehow Ichigo was able to slice him up.
No. I like how Kubo, even though when Bleach finally got announced to be canceled, I actually like that Kubo foreshadowed it. Like Yuha actually had a dream where he saw Ichigo strike him down, and he just brushed it off as a bad dream. At least he foreshadowed that little part.
Yeah, and then it actually happened.
At least we can say that he actually foreshadowed something, and he just didn't bring something out of his ass. Even
Yeah,
though the last 7 chapters were rushed as hell, technically you all has the power to see the future, but he couldn't see the future where he got shot by a silver arrow.
yeah. Which the first light novel does explain what happened to his body after he died.
Wait, what happened?
Apparently, his body was used to basically sort of kind of restore the Soul Society once was. Basically, his body is what's keeping the Soul Society together now.
Oh, because he fused with every living thing.
Yeah, and here's something really weird. The public does not know the Soul King actually died.
The people don't outside of the Serite, nobody knows much about the Soul King. They just know about the Serite. Majority of the outsiders don't even know there's a royal family.
Um, uh, the new head captain, the former captain of Squad 8, he kind of basically,
Yeah,
yeah, he kind of classified the war as the war of the protection of the royal palace. It was
well, you don't really want to. Do you really want to say that you basically got invaded twice? You got your asses kicked. The head captain got killed. Three of your strongest captains were killed.
yeah, and you can't forget the fact that his lieutenant was killed first. He was the first victim of the war.
Actually, everybody said that he. Actually, everybody got pissed because we wanted to see more screen time because we always wondered what was his motive, what was his bankai. It was a weather-based bankai. Too bad we never got to actually see him use it.
Yeah, and
He got more panel.
Yeah, here's you remember that Zanpakuto arc when they showed off
Yeah,
his manifestation of the Zanpakuto. People did not even know
yeah.
that what is the Zanpakuto of Lieutenant Squad 1 because most of the time the guy did nothing. He did
He
nothing.
just showed up. He was always next to Genryu's side.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all he was known for, being next to him.
throughout most of the arcs. I mean, he showed off. I mean, the fact that despite him being old, he's still a freaking badass. Especially all the.
In fact, apparently he was captain level. But here's the thing: in the Soul Society arc, Ichigo one shot at him. Isane and that big ass dude name from Squad 2. He one shot them all when he still had his freshly made Bankai. And you're telling me this captain of Squad, the Lieutenant of Squad 1 got one shot by a newborn Bankai Ichigo?
His name. The lieutenant of Squad 2 is
I got it right here. I got the entire wiki right here.
Almeida. Yeah, the guy is an idiot.
It apparently comes from one of the 4 great noble families, which is I actually like the filler arc that it showed the 4th family, which is that little girl. Apparently, only women can be the heads of it.
Yeah, and
That filler was weird.
that clan was never shown in the manga.
In fact, the Shiba clan was actually. It didn't even talk about the fact that technically Ichigo is related to Genji and his sister because their dad is a Shiba, but his dad never. And
Yeah,
the first time his dad
in the last arc about an uncle, and the light novels confirm this. That Ichigo's father is the uncle of the head of the Shiba clan.
Oh, so that's actually Kane's brother?
No, it's Kiba. You know,
Kiba, yes. Kiba,
Kai and Shion.
yes, Kai and Shiba. So,
Yeah.
he's his brother?
Hassan is his uncle.
Oh, Assad is Kayan's uncle?
No. Kai
No, yeah, yeah.
is Ichigo's father's nephew.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
And he was
That
distraught.
actually,
He was actually, it's revealed in the second light novel that he was very distraught when his nephew was killed.
or he, wait, Ishan
Yeah, Isam
or
was,
Kion?
Ichigo's father. He
Oh,
was upset, he was upset when Cayenne was killed.
yeah. So Kion is his nephew, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So why? Here's the thing: if Ichigo knew that, why was it never brought up that they're actually Shibas?
I have no idea.
See, this is like saying Kubo has all these ideas and some of these great moments. It could have remade for an interesting plot. Too bad it was never brought up.
Yeah, and everybody
Like,
can know the fact that the head of the Shiba clan is, well, she is smoking hot.
and here's the thing: we still don't know. We still don't know their final fates. Genji did nothing. He showed up in chapter 517, and then that was the last we ever saw of him.
Yeah, he did virtually nothing. Heck, Green Jaw, when he showed up, I
He
was very,
ripped out Askin's heart,
yeah. And
even though he got one shot.
I was actually surprised that he changed his attire. Like, his coat was the same, except he's now wearing black pants now. Because remember, his pants were white previously?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well,
changed to black.
Well, now here's another thing. It's like they all showed up there. Like I said, Kubo had all these great ideas. His pacing was shit. He asked too many questions. He raised too many questions. Like, okay, why was Juha Bach like this when he was born? No one bothered to answer these questions. When the first time they had their war, what was it like? And they brought up that the Goti 13 was actually a bunch of thugs. Like there were some kind of outlaws. They were not actually a group of protectors.
Really.
Oh, yeah, like because Joel Buck even said that you got when the before they were officially known as the Gotti 13, they were basically just running around as a bunch of murderous thugs, and Giryu side was the one leading them. We never got to see how the first war happened, and the weirdest thing is that you're telling me that Wonder Bush was basically in the series 13 this whole time.
Actually, it's stated they actually hid out in the real world and no one knew about it.
But how did you hide out in the real world? How did you manage to do that and not be noticed?
They probably had people in the cover, and yet for some reason, Oru and his father parents basically were the only people left of the Quincy's.
Well, no, he's left the pure blood Quincy's.
We just Uru, I would say definitely is a pure Quincy, even though his mother was a half blood. I heard that she was basically a half breed.
Oh, she was actually, yeah, because actually during that flashback arc, it was supposed to his father and Ichigo's mom was supposed to get married because there were two full-blooded Quincy's. But after Aizen and his whole little shenanigans, she got infected by hollow blood by hollow. And the Ishin had to use his red suit to heal her. She basically became mixed somehow. I don't know how that works, but apparently she became dirt. She was like,
and then
dirty.
Uru's father married his maid, who apparently had a thing for him the whole time.
I know. Actually, it was pretty much obvious that she had a thing for him.
I mean, the way she looked, she kind of reminded me a little bit of Hanada, in a way.
And you can tell that was Uryu's mom because she looked so much like him.
Yeah.
Well, he looked so much like her.
Even as mentioned in the manga, Uru never talks about his mom at all, or even what the heck happened to her.
Actually, no. Actually, it was stated in the manga what happened to her.
I think she died at some point, and apparently that her.
No, it's because the holy selection, like Ichigo mom, technically she had the power to kill Grand Fisher, but you all used the holy selection, and at the time it stripped her of all her spiritual pressure, or Ryatsu. So she was basically defenseless. And since it was actually stated that his mom, Ichigo's mom, would have lived, but Uryu's mom said she was a half blood and not a full blood. He basically took all of her life force.
So,
and basically, yeah,
basically killed Uru's mother.
Yeah, Yuabach actually killed his mother. His dad knew about that. His dad actually, one of the reasons why Uryu didn't like his father is because he was experimenting on her body to try to find a way to revive her.
Yeah, and then later on he became a doctor.
Yeah, I think he already had that before.
Which I remember reading in the manga prior to reading this final arc, even the anime. there was no mention of the fact he wanted to become a doctor in the first place, and then all of a sudden we found out, oh yeah, he wanted to become a doctor.
Actually, I would have loved that cliche thing where he became a doll maker or something because it said he was good at making clothes.
Yeah, and he made new
Clothes.
Yeah, he made new
Con.
shirt for Chad, which apparently was a different shirt than he was ever before. He made a new shirt for Orihime, which she didn't have a problem with her new shirt, although Chad had a problem with his new shirt. And he also made a dress for Rukia.
Yeah, actually, I would have loved it if he became a fashionista, because then it would have been like, oh, wait, that's something nobody saw. Like Chad, where he basically disrespected his abuela, who said, never use your strength for your own gain. And people are like, and then he goes, and later he becomes a boxer. Isn't that using your strength for your own gain?
Yeah, and also apparently in the epilogue, Ichigo never moved out of his family home. And of course,
no, he took over the clinic though.
He did. And whatever happened. And here's something I thought was really, really weird. I'm sure you probably noticed this too.
His dad never showed up, or his dad never showed up.
Before you know when he was sent back to Earth because the still think he failed some tests, so he went back to Earth. And he showed up in his family clinic, and then later on, he's like running around, and he runs into his smoking hot
dad.
Yeah, and then his dad is in his sorting room after he explains everything. After Ichigo goes back to the Soul Society, it's like, okay, it's like it's like off panel, and all of a sudden, apparently, Ichigo's
dad and his boss met him in the street one night.
And then later on, they decided to sleep together for some reason.
Wait, they did? I don't remember that.
Yeah, they did. He says, oh yeah, I'm taking care of a sick patient, and it's later shown it's Ichigo's hot boss.
Yeah, okay. Wait, Ishi's dad slept with his boss, or that Ichigo slept with his boss?
No, Ichigo's father slept with Ichigo's boss.
Well, okay, well, they're both two grown adults. That's just weird, but still.
Plus, she's smoking hot, so at least he got over his dead wife, because it's shown frequently in the manga, the anime, he's frequently worshiping a giant picture of his late wife. It is so hilarious.
I'm still salty over the fact that Kairi and Yuzu had zero development.
Yeah, he got a little bit of development here and there. He was just basically a recurring joke. He's like, okay, let's have him get into a fight with Ichigo like every time he shows up.
Oh, he just does that protecting loving father thing.
Yeah, and and apparently Ichigo's sisters never moved out of the Kurosaki house. They never moved out.
Yeah, that was. Oh wait, no, they never moved. In fact, apparently his son took over his room, and apparently Orihime and Ichigo live in separate rooms.
That's weird.
Actually, that's kind of common in Japan. Actually.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and apparently Ichigo's son likes hanging out with the Vizards for some reason.
Yeah, so like I said, there's a lot of things. Like, for instance, whatever happened to Ishii, Urihara, Yachiru, apparently Halle Bell was finally shown. Her status was shown in a light novel. Kira, we never got to see his final battle with that the final elite guard. It just showed that he was going to go fight them with half of his torso missing, a missing arm, and he was just going to fight him with one arm. That's it. Yeah. We never got to see that battle.
That's like, who are you? He says, I'm a dead man.
Oh, and we never got to see what happened to Grimjow or Olalette. They both just went inside that freaking bubble.
The novel stated they possibly went back to Wikamundo.
It's either you did or you didn't. You can't possibly know.
They're shown for like one chapter, because the second light novel that's set during the time jump, which apparently the second light novel is set a few days after the conclusion of the final arc, like in between. It takes place like a few days afterwards. But it's like about 3 chapters in, and it comes up bi-weekly.
Yeah, okay. I'm still trying to find that name of that novel where Kenpachi actually took on one of the former Kenpachis. Actually, this dude was very, very hacked and very powerful, to the point where the royal guard had to stop him because he was trying to cite a rebellion.
Yeah. Let me show you the I'm gonna send you on Facebook the
oh no, you can do it right here. You can do it on the chat.
Okay. Let's see if I can do it here. Yeah, this
You
is
can do it
something
on
that
screen share.
screen share. Okay. Uh, okay. This is the guy who let's see. Here it comes. Basically, when it comes up. Ah, damn it. Yeah, it's this Tumblr thing. Yeah, this person on Tumblr who is a big fan, who apparently is a fan of Bleach, and translated the whole light novel Bleach in English. When my mom's laptop does this occasionally where the website's not coming up.
Oh, wait, here it is. I finally found him.
What
The former captain. His name is Kia. I think it's Cosby Kiaglio. He's actually in one of the light novels.
yeah, it was revealed in whatchamacallit. It was revealed in the second light novel that he was going to show up, and he does show up for like one chapter in a flashback where he talks to Toshin, and he doesn't know he's talking to the guy that murdered his friend until he mentions his name.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this, like share it like via chat. Let's see here. Skip.
Oh, he's the guy who basically he's still translating all the light novels.
Yeah, I haven't read the other ones, but the other ones I have read are just the ones that he translates so far, which is just the last two that come out. But the second one's not finished coming out yet because not all the chapters been released yet. But this guy did a really good job translating the light novels and the first light novel that's set during the time jump in English. He does a really good job of it, and it's very interesting.
Hey, there's another series I really recommend, and that's Tokyo Ghoul. They got to get into that too.
Yeah, I'm playing against that soon. Just like how
because that
recommending to me I should get into Fairy Tail. He keeps asking me my thoughts, and I haven't got into it yet. I've got many things in my mind before I get to stuff like Fairy Tail.
Okay, I'm still having trouble. I thought I clicked on them, but no, I'm still having trouble on it. But as far as Vonnegut go, who's your favorite Stern Reader?
Stern Reader? You mean writer or?
Yeah, Stern Reader is basically the Quincy's.
Of the Quincy's, of all of them, I don't have a favorite when it comes to the Quincy's aside from the leader.
Really? Okay, then whose power did you like the best?
I didn't pay attention to the powers of these guys. I mean,
Seriously, the whole
but
thing about their name is their letter is supposed to define their power. That's one of the big things about them.
Yeah, it's just that the rest of the Quincy's, aside from the leader, were not interesting to me at all. I mean, their parents.
Really?
And,
like Grammy?
Yeah, I
mean,
kind
like
of forgot
Grammy,
because after a little while, I kind of forget about what exactly, like, there's certain things, like, I forget, like, I can't exactly remember everything when it comes to something like that because I don't have big space for all of my head. But when it comes to the Quincy's themselves, like, okay, I kind of forgot this happened, even though I had just previously read it. Because the arc was so long and I was reading via Kiss manga, I kind of forgot.
dude, I remember like it's still fresh off my head. Almost every character and their powers.
Maybe because I marathon, that could be the reason why. There was
Like,
one basically.
yeah,
there was one that basically, I don't remember which one it is, the one who attacked Lieutenant Squad 2 and his sister.
Oh,
it kind of looked like he had powers in Hollow.
that's because he was a robot.
Really?
Here is the thing: there was Lloyd and Royd, who both had the power. One had the power to replicate someone's memories and their spiritual power. The other one had the power to replicate their abilities and their spiritual power.
There was one thing I thought was really interesting they did.
And
they had this object that stole people's Bankai.
Wait, you don't even remember Mass D Masculine?
No,
He
because
took
I mean,
on.
because I was marathoning it, and even though yes, I did read the final arc, it's just that I don't exactly remember when it comes to the Quincy's themselves. Aside from the fact that they had good, interesting dialogue.
Green shirt.
Is your screen share working?
No, I have to find the right one. It's these guys. You see them?
Yeah, I see him. See him now.
Like,
Okay. Oh, I remember this mask. I don't remember what he did though.
there was Mass D Masculine. There was. Hang on.
Ichigo's hot mom.
There's Jurgen Hoshwall. There's Ryukin. Here was basically a figment of Grimmy's imagination. Wait, this is the one I was talking about.
Who was?
This was actually a man or not?
Okay. Who was the one who took over Wickamoon? I kind of forgot his name.
Wash? Because Yuwash took it over. Oppai, right here, he was the guy who basically the first Stern Ritter Ichigo fought. He was the first one who gave Ichigo a real fight.
Oh, that's Grammar, the one with the coat, the one that looked like his half his face is covered by his coat.
Yeah, Asnot. That's the one that Rukia used her full bunk guy on. And this dude was the heart of this. This guy was the heart of the Soul King, which also never explained how the heart left the body.
Is
and there it is.
Is this one supposed to be a woman? The one who's above, the one who's like
That's not some male.
It looks like a woman.
Yeah, and everybody said this is Isaac only if he was gay or flamboyant.
So are the one names in red? Are those the ones that are dead?
Everybody's pretty much dead.
What about the ones in white? Are the ones still alive?
Only one outside of Uryu and his dad, maybe, I don't know. That's still left up in the air.
Guys, Damio is alive, and Candace.
Oh, Damio got killed off. No, Damio died at Ichigo, one shot. Then became a zombie. I don't know what happened. Kira, I don't know. He was the end. Robert was the end, and we never figured out what the end meant.
I mean, when I looked up, I thought it looked like he had sort of a strike. When I saw him, I thought he looked like Joshiro with a mustache, but I mean,
yeah, he actually shot Koryaku's eye out, and everyone thought, oh, they were going to have a rematch. Turned out, no, he just got fodderized during the whole holy selection and did nothing.
Really? But when you look at him, he kind of looks like, if you look closely, he kind of looks like Joshiro with a mustache. Doesn't he? Just take away the glasses and the mustache. He kind of looks like Joshiro.
Oh, which was Joshiro? Because I got to remember all these characters' freaking names.
Joshiro was the captain of Squad 13.
You mean Ukatake?
Yeah. I believe his first name is Joshiro.
Yeah, his first name is Joshiro because I just know them by their names.
A lot of them I do know by their first names, but like the captain of Squad 7, half the time I keep forgetting his name. I think his name is supposed to be Kawamura, I think his name is.
Konomura, something starts with an I, but I forget. Let's see. Holy Selection.
Most of them I can address for their first names, but him, I have this when I forget his first name. The Captain Squad 4, I pronounce his name is Regina. Even though her real name is actually Yoshia, I think her name is, the one who's also Lieutenant of Squad 11.
Yeah. Yajuru, he was basically Kenpachi's spirit.
Yeah,
but also...
So apparently, he named her after the Captain Squad 4. Apparently, it's revealed that in a flashback, he basically respected her, despite the fact he also hated her as well.
And he was the only person who actually put real damage on her. Which is cool. And here's how they all died. Holy Selection, don't know. I think he died Akira. Revived a zombie only to get killed again. Died a Hoshwalt. You died to Hoshwalt. I think she died in the Holy Selection.
What did Candace
I think
die?
she died during the Holy. Oh, she died.
So aside from Uru and his father, is any actual Quincy still left alive?
There's nobody on the Stern River side that's still left alive that I know of. Her fate, I think she either died in the Holy Selection or Baz B killed her.
Well, there was one Quincy who actually defected to the good side, who turned against Yarich.
Besides Ishida.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There was one basically who was on the side of the Quincy's, and then because he figured out that basically Yarich went away for all life and all everything.
Oh yeah, Baz B. Oh yeah, they actually did defect, but then they all got killed off anyway. Because Baz B, after Robert told them how the Holy Selection works, is that he basically takes off only the Elite Four. His Elite Four were the only ones he was actually going to take to the Royal Guard. Everyone else was basically there to either collect souls or to die in the Holy Selection. And then Baz B, Gazelle, and I'm going to show and that little lolly chick is right here. They went to go fight you all, and they both got killed by him.
Huh.
Let's see. All we know is that he was called Chengdu the Iron by Hoshwalt because he failed in the first invasion. Well, no, the second time.
Quincy then
He got defeated.
The Department of Research and Development.
Who?
It was because during the first invasion, Squad 12 was actually invaded.
Domino. And then he got one-shotted by Ichigo when he entered.
Yeah, and they heavily damaged the Department of Research. Yeah, they heavily damaged the building.
And they took over the gatekeeper.
And it was weird though. Apparently, Marizu was building, you know, that cannon that the Shiba clan was known for, that giant cannon, fireworks. Apparently, Mashiro basically built one of his own.
Huh.
I'm like, where the heck did he get time to do that?
When he gets time to do a lot of things.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
I don't know.
Like, this guy who develops stuff that half the time doesn't even work. And this is according to Uru. Because I remember during, I think it was the Zanpakuto Toe arc, where Nemu is basically holding out Ichigo, and Midori is trying to do one of his needles in him. He says, "Don't put that stuff in me. That stuff doesn't work." He said, "Like, who told you that?" Uru did. And then basically, Regina comes in and basically cures him of the poison. It's so funny. And then,
yeah.
Remember when during the Ronka arc when Nemu basically used her chest to squish Uru's face?
Yes.
I thought that was so funny.
Actually, Nemu did a lot of weird things, and every time Miriam told him to do something, she would do it.
Yeah, and also her hands act like drills.
Also, I would have liked to know what her power was about. She was the Q. He was the R.
Nemu's power, what caused her hands to be like drills. He uses spiritual passion to make her hands like drills.
Well, that's because, I don't know, she was a mod soul, so therefore she could do whatever she wanted.
Well, her body was a geek guy.
Yeah, but she was a mod soul. She's a mod soul with a mod body.
Yeah, smoking hot one, too.
Oh, here's another thing. Wait, okay, what's your favorite Zanpakuto then?
Out of all of them? Aside from Ichigo's, which is pretty interesting itself, I would...
No, it's not. It's really dull.
I would say Renji's.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Kuryaku's.
Another one I like is Toshiro's. His is really interesting. Especially his Bankai form, he can basically fly.
But here's the thing, though. After the Soul Society arc, he spammed his Bankai almost every chance he got.
I know Renji had an interesting Bankai until it was revealed that apparently his Bankai didn't exactly work properly after he battled the Byakuga. And then he got a new Bankai, which looked interesting. But
actually, there's two problems. They said if a Bankai was to get damaged, it will never work the same way. It will never be properly repaired. And the second thing was that his Bankai never told him his true name.
Yeah, and then they got a new Bankai.
Yeah, that's after Ichibei told him what his Bankai sword's true name was. Let's see. I like Kuryaku's.
He, when he went to when he went to the other palaces that of basically himself, Renji, and Byakuya, of the three who gets to kill Ichigo. Renji is the one who actually follows Ichigo to the other palaces.
Yes, actually, yeah. Everybody say, "Oh, Renji's going to get a power up," and which he did. Actually, everybody who went up there got a power up.
I would say of all the Soul Reapers, he probably got one of the most highest amount of development.
Well, actually, how did you feel about the ending when when Renji actually hooked up with Rukia?
It was interesting.
I saw a lot of people. There was a disappointment. Really, it was more like a lot of people were disappointed.
I didn't have a problem with the fact he and Rukia got married because, well, it was kind of hinted at that Renji had a thing for Rukia for years.
Yeah, but the thing was that they felt like everybody thought it was a brother and sister relationship, and this felt more. And everybody thought he would at least ended up with Rukia. Ichigo would have ended up with Rukia or just be by himself.
Instead, he
yeah, actually, everybody said that was the most generic choice. And honestly, that is out of everyone in the cast, she is the most generic choice.
Yeah, and you look at some of his other characters who got virtually hardly no one like. Look, let's say Tatsu, Orihime's best friend. She got hardly development at all. I mean, the biggest thing she did is that she threw Ichigo's head through a window.
Actually, her and Ichigo's friend, I forgot his friend's name. It was kind of hinted that they both were actually developing spiritual powers.
Yeah, it was her and Keigo.
Yeah, Keigo. Her and Keigo. That's why I said I wish during the Fullbringer they could have played a bigger part. Like, oh, Keigo and Tatsu both got their spiritual powers.
His name is, who was the other friend?
Oh, you mean that little pretty boy who basically got all these girls? I think it was just there for comic relief to play up the Keigo's over eagerness to get a girlfriend.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I think his name was Missouri.
I don't know. Actually,
one of the things, and this is something they even brought up in the second light novel. Suisu gave Tatsu, Keigo, Missouri gave him soul tickets.
Yes, that actually happened. No, that didn't happen in the light novel. That actually happened in the manga. They before the break happened.
On technology, but apparently they can use that at the base of the side anytime they want to.
Yeah, because I think it was chapter 530 or 540 before each Kubo went on his month-long break. It was basically being stated that Ichigo was going to be so strong that he probably would not be able to leave the Soul Society, which is another thing that basically Kubo basically just up and dropped.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting though. Of all people that give them the soul tickets, it's so sweet. The new hit captain.
Well, actually, he already knew that Keigo and Tatsuri was his friends, and he basically explained the situation to them, which also I said that was also
who he was. Like, he's like, oh, you're the captain of Squad 8, because apparently she heard his name being called around when Aizen was going around doing all this killing spree.
Yeah, actually, this is why I said that they developed their spiritual powers, but it was never touched on.
Yeah, just like
Karin.
Yeah, Karin. Yeah,
and Yuzu.
Yeah, her spiritual power is that she apparently has a powerful kick.
Well, actually, they all have actually. Once you get your spiritual powers, you can actually interact with them, but they can get soul trained and become substitute Shigigami. Yuzu was the only one who may or may not actually have soul powers.
Do you remember those 2 episodes where it was kind of a rip-off of Super Sentai where they all act like they're Power Rangers?
Yeah, and their friends fought this. I know that creepy chick who like Orihime. She ended up groping him. I don't know what she did to that female Hollow. I mean, Arakar. I know she just groped the hell out of her.
Her doggy style.
Look up. I know she was a lesbian.
Yeah, which
she actually was a lesbian.
Yeah, I can tell that because every time she's with Orihime, she's groping her breast, and basically Tatsu's beating the crap out of her for doing it.
Which also proves that women can be perverts too.
Yeah, which I'm thinking, though, why doesn't Orihime protest it at all?
Which I don't. In fact, if you really look at it, Ichigo had probably the most simplest goal, which he didn't have a goal. which
Yeah,
probably made him different from every shonen character.
yeah,
It's like he was basically getting thrown into these situations, and he basically had to fix it.
yeah. At the end of the first light novel, after they have Ruki and Renji's wedding, Renji is running up to Ichigo. Is like, "Hey, are you in love with?" He's basically asking, "Was like, are you in love with Orihime?" Or at least he basically calls her by a last name, which is something you do in the manga for some reason. And he kind of denies it first, and he says, and he kind of, yeah, he kind of does, and then the thing ends with, basically him and Orihime going to talk.
Which everyone became extraordinarily disappointed. And here's in the last freaking page of the manga was an even greater disappointment because apparently his son killed you all just by touching him.
Yeah, it's weird. And then he also has sword power for some reason.
Actually, you notice that his Zanpakuto was the same as Ichigo's Bankai sword.
Yeah, I did notice that. You notice that
Yeah, his
Ichigo's
hilt was.
I mean, if you notice, so after that, when he got his sword powers back, his Bankai changed like twice.
Because he never knew. Because actually, that was U-Haul power. The thing when we saw thought that it was his Bankai, no, that was his Quincy power. Apparently, there was a little bit of good inside of Ichigo, and that little bit of U-Haul actually liked Ichigo, and it was actually protecting him from his real soul power, his real full Shinigami powers.
Yeah, I remember
which actually
saying that apparently his Howler was protecting him from his real power.
Yeah, because first of all, you thought, oh, his real power was the one he used to defeat Aizen, but then it's stated, oh no, his Quincy power was protecting him from his real Bankai, and then we never got to see what his real Bankai did because Uyuha basically one-shotted it.
Yeah, and apparently his new Bankai, apparently it looks like part of his blade, like the middle part of it is like out. It kind of
That was a dual-wielding sword.
Yeah, and apparently his true form of his Zanpakuto is twin swords.
Which we never learned what it could do because the manga had to rush.
Yeah, because he rushed the ending. My
No, he
personal
was told to.
Yeah, but if they ever adapt this into like an anime, they're probably going to fill in a lot of gaps, just like it did with the Ninja War. Because if you notice, though, I read the part when it got supported into the manga, like they actually filled in some gaps that basically were there, like they expanded some stuff. Though the one thing that I was very surprised they cut was the line of dialogue was uh, Gaara's reaction to knowing that the Hidden Stone Village hired the Akatsuki at one point. They cut that. That was not in the anime.
Actually, that wasn't an anime.
But not his reaction.
I mean,
that was cut.
Right? Did you see the American? Because they had an English dub.
I didn't see. I saw in the sub.
No, they had an American dub. They got him having a reaction.
Okay, because the dub basically I watched up until episode 97 because Hulu didn't have any more than that, so I basically switched to sub.
Oh no, that's because they stopped. Because Hulu stopped updating after as of last month, and actually they stopped for Naruto, but basically anything under Toei they stopped uploading the anime. So basically, One Piece, the episodes start at 560 or 570. They're not uploading any other animes from there.
Yeah, and I know of the episodes dubbed in English. The most recent episode was 388.
Yeah. So at a certain point, that they just basically stopped updating.
Yeah, apparently what they're doing with Naruto Shippuden is that they're releasing a certain number of episodes in the dub, and then they're stopping. Like there's one that has like just 12 episodes for some reason, even though it's from a different season.
Actually, yeah, they're doing what they're doing with One Piece. Funimation is doing with One Piece is they're releasing them in seasons.
Yeah, but the seasons are different. Like the last one that came out, which was actually last week, which was episode 389 through 402.
How many episodes of Naruto Shippuden are there?
500.
Okay, so they're just going there, but they're basically taking their. It's like One Piece because now we just finally got to the time skip for the English dub of One Piece.
When is the time skip in the manga?
The time skip started around 4 something.
What book does it start?
Because check it out because actually this was pretty big because Oda took like 2 weeks to a month off to do the times so he can rest up for the time skip.
I'm up to book 21.
Actually, I'm going to start collecting One Piece. The thing is, I'm going to collect it in the omnibus.
Yeah, I noticed that those 3-in-1 omnibuses for Naruto, they stopped producing those after 19 books. And Bleach are like after 17.
I know. I can't collect Naruto or One Piece by single volumes. That's just way too much work.
Yeah, the Barnes Noble that's near me actually has most of the Naruto books in book form. They actually have the regular books. They have them there, except for like almost like I think they're like about 15 bucks per book.
Okay, so the time skip is the 24th arc. Okay, already.
The next DVD release for the dub for Naruto.
I knew the article wasn't like that.
Yeah, and it's covering episodes
okay,
3 to 4.
Okay. Skip is it starts the official time skip. It starts at 598. 597 is when the time is the ending of the Sabo. Well, basically flashback, and it goes, and then that's when.
So the time skip is not until book 61.
To the skip starts 88.
Yeah, in the Bleach manga, the time skip for that one starts with after book 48. That's what time skip for that one's. For Naruto, it's after book 27.
Actually, you know what? It's really weird that they all had time skips.
Yeah, and yeah, Hunter x Hunter never had one.
Hunter x Hunter, well, technically they just grew over time. Like the time just passed.
Yeah, and they never saw any character's birthdays.
Oh, they have birthdays. Well, actually, it's unique because Togashi actually came up with his own writing. He came up with his own writing alphabet for Hunter x Hunter.
Really?
Because you know you've seen the anime, you see how they show the characters and the little halfway mark screens, and they just show them like they're just doing something. You just see these weird signs. That's actually Hunter x Hunter language. That was the actual alphabet. He made up his own language for Hunter x Hunter card game.
I think when Bleach started, I think Ichigo was like what 15.
But yeah, Bleach started with, like most shonen protagonists are like what 14 or 15.
Yeah, I think Ichigo was 15 because it seems like he was starting high school when the manga when the anime started.
Because Luffy is currently 17.
Yeah, but I think after time jump, I think he's 19 or maybe 20.
Oh no, he's currently 17. No, he was 17. Yeah,
Still?
No. Wait, let me see. Let me started when he was 15. And the time skip, he's 17.
Yeah, I heard that at the time. I heard that at the start of the manga, he's 17. And then by the time they do the time jump, basically, apparently, because the time jump is only 2 years.
Zoro and Sanji are 21. Robin is 28. Frankie is now. Brooke is he's 59, going on 60. No. Like longer than that. He's 87 by now.
Right now for One Piece is when the crew was much more small. That was just Leafy, the thief, the one who's a liar, the cook, your doctor.
Where are you on?
I'm on the arc where they're liberating that country.
Oh, you mean Drum Island?
Now, John, Albertia, I think it's called.
Oh, Alabasta.
Yeah, that one.
You're doing that's the first. Actually, here's a couple of things. You know, when they went to Logstown, you know they actually was supposed to actually have a dude named Big Daddy Masterson. He was actually him and Usopp was actually supposed to have a gun battle because he lost Usopp's dad, and they were supposed to actually have an actual gunfight. There's a dragon.
Yeah, but the weird thing about it is you know that Leaf is the captain. Half the time it's just most of the time it's basically Nemi and
or Sanji or somebody else steering the ship.
Yeah, it's weird.
Look how Luffy started off. He was in a freaking barrel.
Yeah, he has small ship, and he recruited the swordsman.
Zoro was the first person he recruited. I mean, everybody had to start somewhere because even Roger had to start somewhere.
Yeah, and then he got his first ship from a rich woman, who he asked for a ship because, well, he had a very small one, and he
Oh no, he got it from Syrup Island. That's what, from Usopp. Yeah, that's the first time. That's where they actually got the going merry.
yeah, and he got that because he basically saved her life. The rich woman who gave him the ship, he saved her from being murdered. So as reward, she gave.
Koala. Yeah, Koala. They saved her from Cap. Actually, some people actually want to see Captain. What's his name again? What was his freaking name? Because there's like, because it's been accounted. Well, as of today, One Piece has over 600 characters been introduced.
This one character, I think he's really interesting. The one
Kuro, that's the name. Kuro.
Bongo the clown.
Oh, Buggy the Clown.
Yeah, he's so hilarious.
Oh, you really do have a bad memory because you're really skipping out on some people's names. You're really screwing up on their names. And yes, Luffy is 17 at the start. He's 19 as of right now.
Yeah, and I kind of think that him and his navigator could have possibly think for each other, but who knows?
No, Oda already said it basically comes first. Story comes first. Action comes second. You might see that at the end, maybe, if he actually feels like it.
So he has no interest doing romance between characters.
Romance is little to almost none. It's only there, and you really don't see it that often. You rarely see romance, and if you do see it, it's only there for like a couple of pages or a chapter.
The anime, they look almost exactly. They look almost exactly like the same characters, given different clothes. Like
But you mean Goku and Luffy?
No, I'm talking about basically in One Piece, where the women almost look exactly alike.
Oh yeah, actually, that's a thing because Oda says that I don't know, is it either Oda or his editors? They basically make him write almost all the women have hourglass figures.
Yeah, and they look almost exactly alike.
Yeah, that's a real problem.
Yeah, and half the time I can't even tell if because I'm in still kind of the first major arc, one where he's battling the crocodile, the one who's one of the pirate lords.
Oh, you mean one of the seven swords? You're talking about one of the seven warlords.
Yeah.
Actually, if you really want my advice, go back reread all of One Piece right now because I guarantee you're missing stuff right now. There is a lot of foreshadowing. There's a lot of names and a lot of stuff that was actually set up in all since chapter one. And you have to read this. One Piece is not some kind of manga where you could just read through it. You have to literally take your time.
Yeah, I'm trying to right now with it, and I'm only at 21 books right now, and I know for a fact there's been 85 released, but only 82 of them released here. I've heard that 83 is supposed to come out in August, and 84 is supposed to come out in November.
No, I'm telling you right now that you should really reread One Piece because there's a lot of key things that are being missed out. But let's end the podcast right here.
Yeah, Bleach is just one fun series to watch, and the manga is good, despite what.
Well, until you get to the final arc.
Yeah, the final arc I think is good. It has its problems. Some good stories usually have problems, but it's a good story. Kind of an odd ending, and the epilogue is like you're scratching your head like, okay, you're not going to explain this because it's the final chapter.
See, the thing is, he had a deadline of 7 chapters. He had to rush this shit out.
Yeah, and there's a
lot of things to be skipped.
But here's a question for you: out of all the Bleach characters, aside from Ichigo's human friends, who got the least amount of development?
Damn near all the lieutenants.
I would say the only ones who got development were Rengoku, Renji, and
anybody who wasn't part of the 5 cast that were there since the beginning of the Rock arc.
I think you got a little bit of development for Lieutenant Squad 2.
almost none of the lieutenants have any real development. We don't even know the names of their Zanpakutos, let alone what it's capable of.
The one who was in Squad 3, his Zanpakuto's name is one Beastgate. You know, the one who's a...
You mean Kira?
Yeah. The one who...
Yeah, it makes things heavy, but that's it. That's all we know about his Zanpakuto.
Yeah, his badass moment is when he killed in the wrong car by decapitating him.
Yeah, that was it. Like, there was a lot of things. And
yeah,
like I said...
He actually did do a badass thing during the bounce arc. Where he nearly killed one of his own with his sword. But...
They all had a moment to shine. Lukaku had the best time.
But what would you say of all the superhero captains? Which one do you say got the least amount of them, aside from maybe the head captain?
Besides the head captain?
Yeah.
Let's see. Unohana had 0. Actually, we still don't know her Zanpakuto's name or her Bankai. We know little of her past. Let's see. Koryaku. In fact, Ukutaki is Ukutaki is the least developed character. We knew jack shit outside of he had Mimi Sage, and that's it.
But what about Soshin, the one who was the captain squad and later became the head captain?
Wait, which one?
The one who basically dressed in a kimono, wear that strange hat.
You mean Koryaku's?
Yeah, I think he got some development.
When he became head captain, he started getting character development. But like I said,
yeah, he became and he wasn't like lazy as he once was before once they became head captain.
Well, he got pushed to the forefront.
Which, out of the three people who were basically captains the longest, he made the most sense to be the head captain. Because
actually,
Doshiro basically was ill. You can't have a head captain who's ill. And as the captain of Squad 4, you kind of need her there to be in charge of, well, the hospital. So
actually, when it came to healing, actually, it was said that she was very bad at her job.
Really?
Yeah, even by the guy who actually, the guy from the Royal Squad, he said that basically she was really terrible at her job. But the only reason she took it because she wanted to be basically, I think she wanted to be forgiven of her sins because of what her past. She used to take lives.
She was a murderer.
Yeah, she used to kill people. So basically, she wanted to be. I think she became the healer, so she can finally stop. Instead of taking lives, she can help lives.
Yeah, and you did see her Bankai once. Remember during the
it was confusing.
where she turned her Bankai. Her Bankai essentially put a giant stingray.
Her Bankai is what she used on Kenpachi. That was very confusing.
Yeah, and then she'd get killed by Kenpachi.
Yeah, it was. Everybody said it was kind of good because we finally got some character development out of Kenpachi because we finally get up to see if Shikai finally talked to him. It was actually the moment that Shikai finally told him his name. Yachiru she damn near disappeared.
Yeah, but I would say besides Toshiro, I would say one of the very few sword captains who actually got a lot of development was probably Kenpachi. He got a bunch of it throughout the entire manga and anime.
Kenpachi, Toshiro, and Byakuya are the three head captains who got the most development. The main lieutenant who got the most development outside of Renji was Yukaku, the third seat of Squad 11. Most badass moment when he showed his Bankai.
Yeah, which according to
it was so beautiful in the anime.
It looked really weird. It's a cool looking Bankai. What the heck does it do?
Hey, you saw how he was slicing up that Arankar?
Yeah, that's basically it. He doesn't use it. I mean, that's the first time he used it. And apparently he keeps it secret from his captain for some reason. I have no idea why.
He keeps it secret because it would shoot him up. If you know a Bankai in your third seat, that would shoot you up to a lieutenant to captain status. They used to say Bankais were rare, but then everybody started getting a Bankai, so then it stopped becoming rare.
He actually did become lieutenant of Squad 11.
Because technically, Yachiru was never real to begin with.
But yet everybody saw her and everybody interacted with her. Yeah,
see, that's one of the great Kubo mysteries we'll never know.
Yeah, but the one thing I think that they should do again, because I loved it in the anime, doing their beach episode, because I thought that was just pure fun. Just have the characters go to a beach for a day.
No, that's never gonna happen. I don't see the. I don't see the.
Was see those characters, just see a lot of the characters wear bikinis. Like seeing from Geek wear a bikini is like 2 sizes too small.
Nah, if they're gonna bring back the anime, I want something that's actually worth watching, besides just a little filler fun art. I want something that actually.
The first thing they would do if the anime does come back, they would probably adapt the final arc and probably fix some of the problems that the final arc did have.
They have to work exclusively. Kubo has to work exclusively with the anime then.
Yeah, which I think he probably would, because why not? I mean,
I don't see that happening.
Well, Toriyama works with the people who do Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, but but Bleach is nowhere close to Super's level of status.
And then pretty much after they adapt the final arc, just do the light novels and just fill in some gaps exactly what happened during the time jump. And don't adapt the epilogue until you're all done.
To be honest, Kubo, if you looked at some of his interviews, Kubo was burnt out being a mangaka.
A manga writer and artist?
Yeah, you have to produce something. That stuff is weekly. Those chapters we read every week, that's actually 3 weeks. Those chapters we read on a weekly basis, they've been done about 2 or 3 weeks in advance. You have to constantly be working.
When he worked on the anime, do you think do they have to force him to basically draw every single animation cell?
No, he doesn't do the anime. He basically did the character designs and he gave it to the animators to do. But outside of that, no, the animators did the anime. All he did is get them his approval.
Yeah, but I think that's what he probably would do again if the anime does come back, because he wouldn't have to write anything. He just has to basically give some concept designs and just maybe he can help them sort of, I don't know, advance some of the characters. So probably he didn't get time to do in the manga. I mean,
you know what? It's honestly time for him to take a break.
When you take a look at, let's say, the anime, it does fill in some gaps that you kind of could see that was probably in the manga, like expanding some stuff. Though they did cut some stuff in the pain arc, which basically I don't really get why they cut it for.
If Kubo comes back, I want him to come back with something fresh. Bleach is nice and done with, but the man's burnt out, especially on Bleach. He's been working on this for about over a decade. And Togashi.
I heard a rumor he's possibly getting involved with the Bleach live action movie.
Which I don't see anything good coming out of that.
Yeah, which the only thing I've heard is that they have the actor play Ichigo, and they have a good idea what they're going to do. Like they're going to do Zanpakutos, Hollows. That's really it. And apparently it's scheduled to come out next year, but I've seen nothing for shooting wise. Nothing. It's like nothing new for the live action at all. So
I think that's just a rumor. I think that's just a rumor to keep people interested in case Bleach ever does to come back.
I know people want the anime to come back. Probably not the manga, but probably the anime.
I'm burnt out on Bleach at this point, and like I said, Togashi is a prime example of somebody who was damn near put in a hospital trying to be a mangaka, and that's one of the reasons why he forced Yu Yu Hakusho to end.
At least basically he's not getting burned out with Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, because he actually takes breaks, which I don't blame the man, because I see how the Japanese lifestyle is and their work hours. I mean, the manga artists basically work about 60 hours a week, and they get about 4 to maybe 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
at max.
I'm sure a lot of people probably ask this. Why can't he ask his wife to do the artwork and him just work on the writing?
Do you know how much that is per chapter, per page? Plus, you got to do that on a weekly basis. That will get on anybody.
I mean, you can have
it's not like us Americans.
Chapters just to try out exactly, like how it would go. If people like it, probably better than his artwork, because I read the election art. The artwork was rushed.
Dude, have you seen the early scans of the Chimera Ant arc, or the early scans of Hunter x Hunter? That shit looked like something that came out of middle school.
Yeah, but when it came to the election art, because I read some of it in the actual regular books, but I read like the first half of it in like the actual books. I read book 25. My library had only book 25. They didn't have the last 7 books released. So what I did is I read the rest of those chapters for those online.
Actually, that's what their newer volumes. Because actually, here's something else. Togashi actually goes back and he redoes those volumes. Like the volume I have now, that's been redone. He actually redoes all the artwork for his volumes when they actually get officially
Yeah.
released.
When I saw the election arc, oh boy, the artwork was so bad in this art. In this art, it's just so bad. The writing is good, it's terrible.
The writing reminded me of one from One Punch Man.
I've heard of One Punch Man, never read the manga or watched the anime.